Hey guys, what's up? It's Scottish Duck here once again. A few things first. Yes, I know I am considerably less hairy than I normally am by a factor of like 5 or something, I don't know. And second of all, I'm a bit under the weather right now. I'm not feeling that good. So I was gonna I wasn't gonna make a video tonight, but I'm just sitting here saying, you know what, fuck it. What's the laziest thing I could possibly do besides just making a video to show you my lack of hair, right? I'm going to do something that I was kind of thinking about doing not too long ago. I'm going to show you my top 10 games of 2010 so far, alright? These are just my personal favourite picks of the year. It could change by the end of the year. I plan to make a proper list. But chances are you'll see maybe half or so of these when it comes to that list. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say to that. Let's get into it. Incidentally, I was trying to make a review tonight of a game that I've just beaten. I don't know, it was just going to be an into the camera, on the spot, thoughts on sort of review. But I don't know, I want to give it another wee try because what I recorded was bleh. Anyway, let's hurry up and do this video. Okay, I've just stuck them, they're in no order, I've just stuck them in alphabetical order for the hell of it. The first one is actually a 360 exclusive, and which is odd because I was like total not liking the 360 for the longest time, particularly in 2009, but I've actually got two exclusives here that I quite liked. Well, console exclusives anyway. I know at least one of them is on the PC, but first one is Alan Wake. As you can see, I got the collector's edition. I really fucking loved this game, seriously. The downloadable content's out right now. I need to get around to playing it. It was just, this I've said before, this was the first next-gen game I ever saw, and it blew me away back in 2005. And the fact that we've waited this long, you'd expect something great, and it is great. Sadly, it's not done that well sale-wise, actually. I remember reading an article about it. Apparently, they're blaming Red Dead Redemption, which is not on this list, incidentally. But, well, I really enjoyed it anyway. It was a really good action game, a great story, really made me sort of like turn around about my 360 in 2010. But we'll get into the other games as we get on. The next one is a 360 game, but I don't currently have it because a friend of mine is borrowing it. So you're just going to have to pretend it's here. Bayonetta for the 360. You may know about the whole PS3 360 comparison on that game, whereas the PS3 version was shit. But that game was awesome. Was really looking forward to it for a long time from the creator of Devil May Cry, and it was just a hell of a blast to play through. It really was. It wasn't my favourite hack and slasher of the year. We'll come back to that in a second. But 2010 was a really good year for hack and slashers. I mean, there was Dante's Inferno. Okay, maybe not Dante's Inferno. But anyway, Bayonetta, definitely in my top 10. Absolutely loved it. Next we have, yep, you guessed it, God of War 3. I only got into God of War this year, and this game is epic. Seriously, the boss battles, the graphics, the story, it brings tears to your eyes, honestly. It was a really good conclusion to the series. They're making a new God of War for the PSP. Kind of feels like they're milking it a bit, if you ask me. But I'm gonna buy it anyway. Admittingly, this was a bit of a popcorn game. The novelty of how great it looked and how epic it was kind of wore off after a while. But I don't want to sound like I'm ripping on the game, because I'm honestly not. I do think this is a fantastic game, and if you've got a PS3, you should definitely pick it up. Even if you've never played God of War before, pick this up. It is amazing. Right, what we got next? Heavy Rain, another PS3 exclusive. This is another one I waited on for years, because I love Quantic Dream and David Cage and all the other developers behind this. And essentially, it was pretty much what I expected, a really good drama, story-driven game, with really well-refined quick-time events. They get really inventive with them in this game. It's not just press buttons and you advance. There's actually a lot of thought put into it, and the story was just definitely one of the best you will see in a video game. Well, it kind of has to be, doesn't it? But not much to say about this game you probably don't already know. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm one of those that loves it. Definitely my top 10 so far. Next. Now, the second 360 exclusive, Mass Effect 2. Now, I left this game alone for so long. Didn't it come out in February, January or something? I can't remember the actual release date, but basically I only picked it up recently. And I'm sorry I did. I mean, the first one left literally no impression on me. And then this comes out, and I'm assuming it's going to be sort of the same, and it's like, wow, this is fucking amazing. I'm not calling the first one bad, I'm just saying this was so much better, it really was. I managed to import my data from the first game, you know, and, you know, I don't know what else to say. Really, really good anyway, you know. If you didn't like the first one, I do recommend trying this one out, you know. You may just be surprised. Right. The first Wii game on the list, No More Heroes 2. Now when I first played this, I was like, okay, this is good, but it's just a little bit worse than the first one, which was amazing, you know. But the more I thought about it and I went back and played it a bit more, the more I realised, you know what, this actually is a lot better, you know. I don't really think the bad guys, well, the ranking battles are as good, but the cutscenes and everything else is in the 8-bit mini games, you know. It's all a lot better in my opinion, you know. Yeah, the Wii definitely has some good games this year. Yeah, I can't think of anything to say, but yeah, No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle, awesome game. Right, next we have Resonance of Fate. This one kind of has to go on by default, if I'm honest, because I put like 60 hours into this game. It's just, I don't know what it was, I just became so addicted to it, you know. It's from Tri-Ace, a developer that I'm a bit about, you know. But I'm serious, you know. It's like, it's really hard to explain this game. In a way, it's a JRPG, but at the same time, it's like there's just so many things different about it. A really steep learning curve, you know. You can't play this game for like an hour or two and then decide that whether or not it sucks. You know, you got to put a lot of time into it, and if you do, you will get hooked. You know, because this is just one of the best combat systems I've ever seen, basically. So I Tri-Ace, really good job in my top 10 so far. Alright, here's a definite one, and one that I seriously urge all of you to go out and pick up. Sin and Punishment, Successor of the Sky. This is a sequel to an N64 game that was previously only released in Japan, but they, not a few years ago, they brought it to Virtual Console where it was quite a success. And it's just so much fun. It's like, shooting things has never been so satisfying to me in any game, really, you know. The Wii controls are really good, but even though I prefer to, you know, use a classic controller for all my shooting joys, and it's just the right length, perfect, and I mean perfect difficulty. You will never find a better difficulty curve, no matter how hard you look. And I don't know, it's just, and it's one of those games. It's selling not that well. Like, you can just tell, even though it's published by Nintendo. That's the thing, guys. If you buy this game, you're supporting Nintendo. So yeah, pick it up because it's awesome. Right. Okay, here's one that will probably be definitely in the top 3 for my game of the year, but at the same time, I can't help but feel like it's cheating. Super Mario Galaxy 2. I really don't know. I know everyone loves this game, and I do too. I think it's awesome, but it's just such a lazy departure from the first. It's like I can't really like it as much as I should, you know, and I should like it because I think the first one is phenomenal, you know, in my top 10 of all time, really. And this is technically better, but at the same time, it's just so similar that I can't appreciate it as much. So this definitely won't be my game of the year, you know, because it just feels like it cheated, you know. It's just the same game, but different levels and all that. I don't know, but hell, you've already bought this game anyway, haven't you? I've beaten it, I enjoyed it. It's in my top 10. Yeah, okay. Okay, last game. You can all probably guess what this one is. Yakuza 3. I only started playing the Yakuza series this year, just like I did with God of War, and I got really friggin' hooked. The Yakuza series is awesome. It's the closest thing to Shenmue you'll get, you know. And I don't like it because of that, but at the same time, well, you know, it's made by Sega, obviously. How about this, alright? There was a part in this game, right? I'm kind of ashamed to admit this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. There was a part in this game that was so epic, I cried. My eyes got watery, I got teary-eyed because it was so epic. For those of you who've played it and are wondering, it was at that part with the bulls. I'm not gonna spoil beyond that. Yeah, so few games have got me like that. Seriously, I just really, really like everything about this game, you know? It's not purely because of my fanboyism, it's really well put together. I love the story, I love the setting, the gameplay, everything is just beautiful in my eyes, you know? This may be very well be my game of the year, but we'll see, you know? There's still quite a few games coming out that I want to pick up. So yeah, there we go guys, the laziest video you will ever see. Well, I don't know, I'm not that sick, am I? But that's all I got to say guys. Yeah, see yous after, thank you for watching, bye bye.